everybody, this is Heather with Camden Strength. I took a CrossFit course on March 11th and 12th of this month. I know it's been a little while, but I want to do kind of like a quick review of the course, kind of talk about why I took it and what I thought about it and stuff. So I took it really because it's one of those things where I don't feel like you should learn just from like one model or one business or one person. I've been following the starting strength model pretty religiously and very closely for a very long time. It's what I use with any of my clients that come in to get strong as the novice progression. I just think it's the best of the best, and I'll think that until I find out otherwise. I know a lot of people pick fun at CrossFit, me included. I've picked fun at CrossFit. I don't think it's necessarily fair for me to do that because I had never really done CrossFit before. I just know what people have said about CrossFit, and I've kind of stayed away from it because of that. But I was kind of curious, so I went and I took a CrossFit course. So I took this course. It's a 2-day course. It's $1,000, and it's about 7 hours of classroom time. There's a couple of lectures, and then I go over a bunch of different movements. I'm just going to kind of focus on the movements that I personally have coached before and actually have some knowledge on. I'm going to kind of discuss what I liked and didn't like about it. So first of all, what I liked about the movements is that they do them, and it's nice to have people, I guess, exposed to barbells, but they do things a lot differently. And the biggest one that I had a problem with, I guess, was the squat. They're very big advocates of the front squat because they do a lot of the ollie lifts, and those kind of directly transfer over to those, because in a power clean and a snatch you're more upright, and with the clean, whenever you come down, you kind of catch it in the rack position, and you have to front squat it up and press it and stuff, right? So I get why they favor that. However, it's not what's best for getting you strong, and they didn't really talk about that very much. But in the squat, even in a normal squat, they want you to be bam, with your torso, all the way upright. They call somebody bent over in a squat. I think it's either an immature or premature squat. I can't remember which one, but it's one of those. And I did that because I do low bar squats, and so I'm way bent over even in my body weight squats, because I'm training myself to do that, because that's where my body needs to be for my for the bar when it's on my back, to be over the middle of my foot. So I train that, and they didn't like that very much. So they were trying to fix it, and it just wasn't working. They also had my feet way wider than what I would normally have my feet, to try to get me below parallel while I was still completely upright, because I'm trying to be upright like that. They want my knees to come way forward and all this stuff, and it just wasn't working because I'm not trained that way. I said, I'm bent over because I do low bar squats. And so they were kind of not picking at me, but kind of pick me up, watch this, let's try to fix it. But they didn't ever really fix it because I've still been over. So we did that. We went over a press, which I usually teach the press as well. I do the strict press and press 2.0. Theirs was a little bit different. They want the bar to always start on your chest, and my hands were wider than what I normally would teach somebody how to do a press with. You're trying to reduce those moment arms, and out here it makes a moment arm. So I didn't really like that. But other than that, they didn't do a press 2.0, obviously. They just did normal strict press, and then they did a push press and a jerk. But you're way out here with the press, and I don't necessarily agree with that. But everything else was pretty in line with how I would teach it. They're move your head back, make sure everything's locked, bar straight up, shrug hard at the top, bring it back down. So a lot of it was the same, other than where they want you to take your grip. They also did a deadlift. The only thing I didn't really like about the deadlift was that they didn't have a setup of how to do it. They were just all right, well, let's take a stance. We're going to grab the bar. All right, let me take that back, actually. We didn't grab a bar. On all of the lifts that we learned, they made us use PVC pipes to learn how to do it, which was kind of weird, because I've never done that before. Can we not be trusted with barbells? But yeah, so we had to use PVC pipes. And so they were grab your PVC pipe, take a stance, and now we're going to bend down And I'm like, well, how do they know, like, I don't know, like, you didn't actually give them a correct stance. So then once they were bent over, they would be like, okay, well, raise your hips, lower your hips, I know, raise them, oh, right there, right there. And everybody, like, I don't know, it just didn't seem very well put together to me. I'm like, well, there's a way to do this, and it'll be right. But they did have their hips pretty high, but like I said, a lot of people had closer to like a squat stance than a deadlift stance. They had really wide feet. It wasn't sumo or anything, but it was pretty wide. I didn't really like that. But and then they really try to get people in their heels a lot more than what I would like. And I almost fell over a couple times because they'd be like, you need to get back, Heather, on your heels. And I was already like in the middle of my foot, and so I tried to rock back more, and I almost fell back. But no, like I wasn't that student in class that was like, hey, you're doing this wrong. Like, I went there to learn how they did it, so I played by their rules and I did what they asked, right? Like, even though once I got there I didn't agree with all of it, I still did what they asked of me, because that's what a good student does, right? Like, I'm not gonna go in and try to tell them how I teach it because I'm paying them to tell me what they know, right? They're not paying me to tell them what I know, right? Like, that'd be different if they were like, hey, here's money, tell me what you know. So I did what they wanted. So my deadlift, by the time it was done, like, other than putting me on my feet, like, it looked just like it would here, except it was with a PVC pipe with no weight on it. You do 2 workouts, one each day, just so you know. I wasn't necessarily prepared for that, because it's extremely heavily cardio based, because it's very lightweight, high repetition. So the first day we did thrusters, which I always think of like with the hip thing where you're thrusting with the hips, but that wasn't it. It was like a front squat where you squat down and like press it over your head, and then we did burpees after that. And then the second day we did medicine ball cleans and sit-ups, and that was just like, it was like 8 minutes. You had to get as many as you could. And the day before was like 3 rounds, just like as fast as you could. So those were fine. I did actually get hurt on the first day, and I'm still dealing with it a little bit. I didn't know I had gotten hurt. I think it was I'm almost certain it was from the thrusters that we were doing, because I got to the point where like my muscles had like no oxygen at all in them, and they just wanted to give out. I know how that feels because I do HIIT training on the row machine, and it felt just like that. Like, it wasn't that I wasn't strong enough or anything. It was just like I didn't have the capacity to do it anymore because I had done so many. And they were like, no, let's keep going. Because, they want to push you to the end, and they want you to get those reps in no matter what, as long as you, like, they want you, just get it done. So I did. I feel like I was going to either pass out or throw up. I didn't, thankfully. But I went to the store after that, and as I was walking, like, my knee was kind of like kicking in, and it was kind of like making me almost collapse. And I was like, well, that's weird. And I figured it's probably from muscle fatigue. So I didn't really think about it. I got in the car and I started like rubbing on my leg, and I realized like I couldn't feel the sensation there, and it was kind of swollen. And even now, it's been over a week and it's still like, it's tingly, and there's something going on with it. I'm probably gonna have to go to the doctor and get it looked at. I don't know, but I feel like there's some nerve stuff happening there. I don't know if it's like being pushed on or if I pinched it. I don't really know. I've never had that happen before, right? Like, the lack of pain is kind of what's bothering me, is a lack of sensation and pain. But it's like really tight, doesn't feel super stable right now, and it's like the medial side of my leg is numb and tingly throughout the day. So that's kind of weird. But the next day, I did kind of get upset with them because I went to tell them, like, hey, I hurt my leg. And they kind of, I say they, it was one of them. There was 4 instructors, like 3 that were teaching and one head guy, right? They all taught, but like one was like the team leader. I went to talk to one of them, and I was like, hey, this is going on. Like, I just want to let you know what's up, because like, I'm not upset because I know that these things can happen. Like, I'm not mad or upset, but I just want to be easy on it because I know we have another workout coming up. I don't want to fuck it up any further. And another guy came over and was like, hey, what's going on? And the original one that I was talking to was like, oh, Heather's pretty sore today, so we should probably kind of take it easy on her. And I was like, hold the fuck up. I'm sore, right? Like I am. But that's not what this is. This is different. And I ain't trying to get out of no workout, because I know that if I'm sore, if I move, it's going to make it feel better. So I'm totally okay with working out with whatever you got. But this is I don't want to make it worse, right? Like, I ain't no bitch. Like, I'll do the workout, but I ain't going to make that worse. So anyway, they tried to convince me like I had rhabdo for a minute, like in my knee. I'm like, I don't have rhabdo. And then they're trying to tell me I'm sore, and I'm like, no, I'm not sore. Like, there's just something wrong with it. It's okay. I don't know what it is. I don't know either. But it's not those two things, and it's not okay. So anyway, long story short, they just ended up having me squat above parallel. But I was kind of like, I guess, put off by them trying to tell me it was something else. Like, if you don't know, you just don't know, and that's okay. Just say, like, I don't know. Let's just be careful, right? That's all I wanted. So anyway, I completed it. They had a nutrition portion that they talk about, and they have a programming portion that they talk about. The nutrition's weird because they eat in blocks, which is weird. Instead of like just purely counting macros, they have like these blocks, and they have like your meals are in these blocks and stuff. And so again, like, that's that jargon that I just think is really strange that they have. But they did that, and then they went over a programming lecture briefly. I still don't really understand their programming fully, because it's like they just want you to make it as like varied as possible and constantly try to do more, which just to me seems like a really bad idea, because how can you master something if it's constantly being varied? Like, you can't. If you can't master it, you shouldn't be putting more weight on it, because you're going to get fucking hurt, because you still haven't learned. Like, your body isn't used to it. They don't know it, right? And so I don't necessarily agree with that either. At the end of the 2 days, you have to participate in everything and pass a 55-question test. It's multiple choice. You have an hour to take it. Wasn't that terrible? I took it, and there was a brief period where I was like, what if I just failed it? Like, that's a possibility. And then everybody's going to laugh at me, because it's supposed to be so easy, and then I might have failed it. Like, oh, shit. But then I passed, so it's fine. But there was a brief period where I was like, what if it was too easy and I fucked it up? Right? But no, it was fine. So yeah, I passed it. I'll be getting my certificate in the mail soon. All in all, it wasn't like a completely terrible experience. I found out CrossFit actually has business classes, which I am kind of interested in, just because they've done such a great job at marketing what they're doing. Like, I don't really know of another business model that involves like strength training or whatever you want to call CrossFit. It's not strength training, but like exercising or whatever. Something that involves barbells that is making that much money. Like, they're huge. They're all over. And I just think that that's crazy. And as much as people want to shit on CrossFit or make fun of them, like, if it wasn't for them, a lot of strength coaches, myself included, or other people, wouldn't have as much, just as many clients as they probably do. They wouldn't have an effect on as many people, because CrossFit got huge and they introduced all these people to barbells, and all these people are seeing women and men and children like using barbells. They're like, holy shit, that's cool. I want to do that. And they start looking online to try to find out how to do that, and they find strength coaches, and boom, now you have clients, all thanks to CrossFit. Holy shit, who would have known? But no, it's awesome. I'm honestly thinking like they have some online, some business models. They even said at the end of the class, like, hey, this is not what we do. We have business classes and marketing classes, and we're really good at it. And so you can, come and check out, learn from us. So I am looking at that maybe, because those aren't near as expensive as like the actual CrossFit courses. And I'm not really super interested in it. Like, I don't know. I just didn't really agree, with a lot that they said and did, which is fine. But yeah, I am interested in marketing courses, so we'll see if I do anything with that. But that's why I took the CrossFit class. That's what happened. It was a long video for a very brief, review of what happened. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be more to come. Thank you for watching. Have a terrific day, and happy lifting.